How's it going, everyone? We have some very exciting news to talk about in this video in regards to Sonic games. One of the better Sonic games in recent memory, Sonic Frontiers, has gotten a major Sonic's Birthday Bash update that launched yesterday, and on top of that came a bunch of new content. We'll talk all about that, and also the other Sonic game that's dropping this year, Sonic Superstars, has announced a LEGO crossover collaboration DLC. We'll talk that in a little bit, and the Microsoft FTC trial has been ongoing. It's honestly been a little bit draining seeing all the coverage of that, but at the same time, we have gotten a few nuggets of information, you know, Sony going for Starfield exclusivity at one point, etc, etc. But we also have an update on when the PlayStation 6 and new Xbox could launch, and spoiler alert, it's not gonna be for a while, but we'll talk that at the end of this video. First of all, Sonic Frontiers, Sonic's Birthday Bash update launches today. New game plus, new challenges, and new moves. That update is live right now, and it notes, join the party with the new Sonic's Birthday Bash update featuring new challenge moves, a new collectible, and free birthday decorations available today, starting at 5 p.m. Pacific time. The free update also introduces New Game Plus, a feature that allows players to start the game over from the beginning with their skill tree and power-up levels inherited. I don't know if it also increases like enemy difficulty or things like that. I always appreciate when they do things of that nature, but there's a lot of updates that are noted. Birthday celebration. The Starfall Islands have been decked out to celebrate Sonic's birthday. Check out the decorations and party with a new costume for Sonic's big day. Action Chain Challenge. New challenges have been added to the open zones. Aim for the high score. New skill in Spin Dash. The legendary Sonic move returns, unlock the Spin Dash, and discover new ways to traverse the Starfall Islands. There's new kinds of Kogo waiting to be found on Starfall Islands. Keep an eye out for their fun abilities. And New Game Plus, relive the story of Sonic Frontiers with all your stats and skills carried over from your previous playthroughs. There's also additional changes that are a little bit more minor, but still pretty notable. Added a function to display a % completion for each island, available on the transition screen between islands, island selection screen, and island clear screen. Added new Frontier Elite costume, added an ability to change the rate of deceleration when jumping, added a new icon that will be displayed when extra content is newly added, added an ability to turn on and off the BGM change function in the cyberspace. The tower difficulty on Rhea Island has been reduced for easy mode when the following time-saving actions are used in cyberspace. Colored marks will now appear in result: homecoming dash white, spin dash red, change in deceleration rate when jumping yellow, cyberspace power boost blue. Added a feature to reset clear time and rank in arcade mode, cyberspace battle rush, etc. Added on and off option to set whether the camera will use dramatic angles when skills are used. Added an option to set the deceleration rate to reach a complete stop. Added an on and off option to set whether to maintain a boost during jump, and added 24 songs to the jukebox. Added sound memories on each island and additional bug fixes. Kind of find it interesting that the 24 songs being added is kind of buried there all the way at the end, but that's a notable addition as well. Sonic Frontiers is a game that I've talked very highly about, not in the sense that it's the best game ever or it's this fantastic game, but it's a well-done Sonic game that has laid the foundation for what 3D Sonic games can develop into in the future. It has a good bit of content. The gameplay I thought was enjoyable. Sure, the combat, you know, it doesn't have a ton of depth and it's kind of janky, but overall, you know, given the quality of Sonic games we've gotten in the past, I thought Sonic Frontiers was legit a pretty good game. Maybe not a $60 good game, but for 25 to 30 bucks, I think it is a good price, and this is a sizable update that is dropping for the game, and I believe more updates are in the pipeline for Sonic Frontiers, so that's cool to see as well. And speaking of Sonic, we do have a new Sonic game coming out later this year, Sonic Superstars, and it has announced a LEGO collaboration DLC, so they have put out an official trailer for that. Publisher Sega and developer Arcest have announced downloadable content for Sonic Superstars that transforms Sonic and Dr. Eggman into their LEGO forms. I don't know, you know, the depth of this update, but it is a pretty cool piece of DLC that will be available, so you can be on the lookout for that as well. And if you pre-order now, you will get an exclusive LEGO Eggman character skin, so that is something to be on the lookout for as well. Now, this game is priced at $60, which I feel like is the biggest talking point for this game. You know, we'll have to see how much content is in the game, because I don't think, generally speaking, a 2D side-scrolling game being $59.99 is like that big of a problem. As long as the game is fleshed out, it has depth to it, but we'll have to ultimately see when the game does come out. I saw a lot of people talking about that element of the game, so that is something to consider. And honestly, given that if you go back to 2022, after Sonic Frontiers came out, that game went on sale very, very quickly, and I would expect something incredibly similar for Sonic Superstars. And that week of October's already crazy, but that week in October, Sonic Superstars, the new Mario game, I believe Alan Wake 2, and Spider-Man 2 all in the same week. Yeah, good luck with that one. I think Spider-Man 2 for our audience is going to be the game everybody gravitates towards, but Alan Wake 2 is a hotly anticipated game, and Sonic and Mario, you know, two games that are iconic in their own right. It'll be pretty interesting how everybody manages their time and money come the holiday season, because there is an absolutely insane amount of games dropping this holiday, which is exciting, don't get me wrong, but it is also going to be quite difficult to keep up with absolutely everything that is coming out, and I think a lot of stuff is going to hit the back burner. And Sonic Superstars is a game that I very much see a lot of people being like, okay, it looks cool, looks like a throwback Sonic game, but you could also wait probably 3-4 weeks and see the game at a, you know, 40-50% off discount. I don't think that's unrealistic whatsoever. Lastly, I do want to note the FTC Microsoft trial has been ongoing, and it's been quite a spectacle to watch when, you know, in a trial you're dissecting whether or not a Nintendo Switch is, what generation console is a Nintendo Switch, when they're talking about teraflops and whatnot. I'm just like, yo, this is crazy, but what you do have to be on the lookout for is the interesting nuggets of information that are coming out, such as Indiana Jones officially an Xbox and PC exclusive, such as, I find it interesting that Starfield was in talks to be a PlayStation 5 exclusive, and that's when Microsoft came in and just bought Bethesda outright, which that's something very interesting that I didn't even think about when you compare the install base of the Xbox and the PlayStation, and why PlayStation and Sony is going to have such an easier time to secure these exclusivity deals, which is going to push Microsoft in turn to buy studios outright, and don't want to go into that at all, but that's a very interesting factor to consider, and really opens up the reasoning as to why Microsoft has been acquiring so many studios. Obviously, it's a multifaceted thing, but yeah, something to consider. It was noted the Xbox maker made the comments while discussing its commitment to releasing Call of Duty games on Sony consoles should it successfully acquire Activision. This term would, in any case, go beyond the expected starting period of the next generation of consoles in 2028. Thus, Call of Duty will be published on successor PlayStation consoles should one be released during the term of the agreement. The agreement also would ensure that Call of Duty console games are offered on PlayStation at parity with Xbox. Remember, the discussion, which is absolutely ridiculous, is that Call of Duty would be released at a lesser version on PlayStation, which we know that's not going to happen. And, you know, a 10-year agreement to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation makes sense, because at the end of the day, like, you're not going to strip away Call of Duty from PlayStation. I highly doubt that's something that Microsoft is even looking to do, and as most people realize now, Microsoft's game with all of this is not about really exclusivity. And again, as Jim Ryan, that email that is going around, Microsoft's aim isn't really at exclusivity, rather they're thinking bigger than that, but obviously having a robust IP and a robust portfolio on Xbox is important, but, you know, they bring every game to PC. They've got a bigger vision. Instead of just getting the consumer on the Xbox ecosystem, they are thinking a little bit bigger than that, because Xbox does span a lot more things than just that box that people are buying. But, you know, I hope one day we could just get games on every platform. God of War on Xbox Series, Halo on PlayStation 5, you know, Game Pass on PlayStation 5, PlayStation Plus Extra on Xbox Series. I think that would be the ideal world to live in. And hey, I don't think that's as far-fetched as a lot of people think. A lot of things can happen in 10 to 15 years, and, you know, their business strategies are going to evolve in the course of that time. So it's something interesting to think about. Do I think it's going to happen? Probably not, but I never thought that, you know, Sony was going to go the route of dropping PlayStation games on PC. I never thought Xbox would be dropping games day and date on PC after, like, games for Windows Live and whatnot, so things are always in flux, but that is something to consider, with 2028 being the penciled-in window for new consoles, which makes sense. I believe that date was pushed a little bit further back because the world went to hell, and really, we're kind of hitting the new generation now, and you're kind of seeing that with game limitations, like, starting to spring up with these games being more ambitious and true next-gen exclusives, like with a Star Wars, like with a Final Fantasy. You're seeing some limitations already there, but even with limitations, it's not like we're ready to wrap up this console generation anytime in the near future, so 2028 makes sense to me. But that'll do it for me. Again, Sonic Frontiers, major free DLC update here. A lot of new content rolling in for that, and if you've yet to check out the game, get it for $30 or less, but at that price point, it's going to be worthwhile. Sonic Superstars and LEGO collaboration DLC has been revealed, and the next PlayStation and next Xbox is scheduled for a launch in 2028. That's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.